Hello and welcome to Mountaintop Reviews. Again, we are enjoying the beautiful weather this Sunday afternoon. So still and nice up here. And today we're looking at two different single malts from the Wolfburn Distillery. Kindly sent in for a critique. First one is the Morven, which is a lightly peated, and then the Northland, which is a bit older and should have a different character to it slightly. So let's start with the Morven by Wolfburn. Now, a lovely opaque bottle there. Presumably the liquid inside is quite dark, and the bottle is opaque to preserve its colour. Usually that's why. Darker whiskies like Teeling, Lagavulin is fairly dark, often come in dark bottles to preserve that. So Wolfburn is quite young. I didn't bring my notes with me, so I forget exactly. I think it's something like 5 years old, this distillery. But it has a bit of an ancient claim because it's built on the grounds of the old Wolfburn distillery, which was there hundreds of years ago. So there is historically context for saying that this is ancient, but it's been revived recently. The phoenix has risen, and they have now produced, I suppose now they're churning out the younger malts to have something to bring out. I'm sure as the years go by we're going to see older and older expressions all the time coming out. But this is going to be interesting. This is the Morven lightly peated. Now we've got beautiful light today, so hopefully you should be able to see this bottle really nicely. Okay, so as I've said, these two bottles are young, so there's no age description on them. They are simply identified as Morven, which is it's actually a hill, or it's a mountain nearby the distillery. It's double distilled in small stills. It's matured and bottled at Wolfburn Distillery, Thurso, Scotland. So yeah, lovely bottle. Let's just crack it open. We can chat all we like until the cows come home, but it's all about the flavour. I don't care what the history is. If it tastes horrible, then the history doesn't mean very much. Lovely, satisfying pop. Good chunky cokes as well, I might add. Let's get our cairn glass. Nice, satisfying clug. And I'm surprised. This has actually a much lighter colour than I expected. I was expecting something a lot darker actually, because of the opaqueness. But perhaps if the bottle hadn't been opaque, the liquid inside would have been lighter still. Definitely lightly peated, nice and subtle. It's beachside. It's a little bit peppery, a little bit vanilla-y. We're getting the oak from the oak casks. It is light, yeah. Overall, it is light, as it says. That's fresh. It is undeniably a young whiskey. It is very, very fresh. This is what I often say about young whiskies, that they have a nice bite to them. But this never actually goes bitter. It's got that bite. It's got the light peat. No bitterness that you often get with young whiskies. Very nice. Just a mouthful, a subtle mouthful of peat. Like you've entered my house at the minute, because I'm still figuring out how to work my range cooker. in my new house, and there does tend to be a lot of peat smoke in the house, and that's what this is like. It's like entering my house at the moment. Nicely, lightly peated. It really sets up a lot of promising whiskies from this new rebirth for Wolfburn. The whiskey in and of itself is not jaw-droppingly remarkable in that aspect. You know, there are whiskies of this tier that do not achieve this finesse of flavour, despite it being fairly straightforward. It's your light peat. There's nice, not too much oiliness on the palate, but there is a quality to it. So it's not amazing. It's not amazing. It's slightly peated, as I say. It doesn't have too many surprises, but at the same time there is within it plenty of potential for the older whiskies that are to come. So I think we should still definitely keep our eyes peeled on Wolfburn. It's a remarkably clean whiskey. As I say, young and refreshing. Very, very nice. And I just can't wait to see what more we have. And actually we don't have to wait, because this is a double review. Because now we are going on to our second Wolfburn. And for that I'm going to clean out my glass, because I wouldn't want to confuse my palate with this next offering from Wolfburn. Now this is a bit older. This is about 4 years old, 4 years something. That last one was 3 years and 4 months, I believe, I'm told. This one is about 4 years old. It's a bit older, and it is called Northland. Whereas this other bottle that we saw was opaque, this one is not. It is plain glass. And you can see the reverse has occurred with the labels. Where we have white and black, we now have black and white. So it's tying in. I always like to mention the branding because, you know, you drink with your eyes as well. And it's nice to see that. So this one is Northland, handcrafted. Worth pointing out, both of these were non-chill filtered as well, so they haven't and they haven't messed with the colours or anything like that. Both in oak as well. Both double distilled. So again, no age description, but we know it's about 4 and something years. It's essentially the same malt, just a bit older. So it'll be interesting to see. We already see that it is darker. This much we know. It is darker. There we go. So yeah, as I've said, this is our starting point. Oh. Yeah. Now, with less smoke than the previous one, I think it's revealed more of the character of the malt, and that is very delicious. And the mouthfeel is so much more oily. You can probably hear it in my voice that it's just kind of coated the mouth with oils, and it is so smooth. That is lovely. You can taste the wood of the oaky kind of woody flavours. There is actually a hint of smoke in there as well, but it's even lighter than the Morven, so it's probably not them worth mentioning on the bottle, the smoky aspect. although it does on the tastings at the back. I remember Shane Fraser mentions a very slight, pleasant flavour smoke. So yeah, just 1 year has added a lot to this. So that's why I say I think with the older Wolfburns coming down the line in 10 years' time or so, we're going to see immense structure and flavour to them. And yeah, bags of oily smoothness in that. Not a terribly long finish, but boy does it wrap around your mouth real quick with the oils. And really, really delicious. So in summary, I think learning what I have about Wolfburn with these two expressions, the Morven and the Northland, I think I can safely say delicious and worth getting, worth snapping up a bottle. As I say, I was less impressed with the Morven, actually. It was just a little one-dimensional with the smoke, but as I say, it was quality. It was not to be dismissed at the same time. It was still a very nice one, but it wasn't one that you would necessarily rave about, is all I was saying. The Northland, on the other hand, has a much more oily quality. Maybe that's just what I prefer, the oiliness, the slickness in the mouth. Both very, very, very decent whiskies. And yeah, great. This creature, by the way, is called a sea wolf. It's a mythical creature that used to stalk its prey on the land, and then you couldn't even escape to the sea. It would chase you in there. So yeah, maybe it's a metaphor. Wolfburn is back with a vengeance after being out all this time, and it's going to hunt down all the competition, all the whiskey competition out there, and eat it alive. Yeah, so that's it from us. The sun is dying. We are going home. Join us on the next review. We've got other stuff coming up. There'll be an interesting independent French bottling